Hey guys, welcome back to Mama Dubay. I am a stay-at-home mom and I have a 2.5-year-old little boy, and over here on the floor I have a 3-month-old little baby. You gonna smile? Yeah. But in today's video I am going to share practical ways that you can be a happier stay-at-home mom. If you are a stay-at-home mom, then I feel like I'm probably not alone in how overwhelming the day can get. I've compiled a list of things that I do when I am starting to feel that way. So stay tuned for that. But if you are new here, I would love it if you joined my community. Please hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up on your way out. And let's go ahead and get into today's video.
Take it real soon. You know we got what you need, baby. So take it, move along. I said we got what you need, honey. Come and groove along. Come on.
So I'm going to be making my son's lunch while we talk, but I'm going to start with the thing that we did today. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to suggest that if you're having a stressful day and you're a stay-at-home mom and you just really are kind of making your own schedule, I suggest going outside. So we have a place that we go to frequently. It's where I like to go run, and I like to take the kids. We just do like half a mile of it basically, and it's a place that Lucas can like explore, and he can get some exercise and he can breathe some fresh air. It is just a good way to kind of like come back to yourself, calm down, and just let go of everything else that you have going on. But you don't even have to do a walking trail. You could just go for a walk around your neighborhood. If you have some grass in your front yard, go play in the grass. Just find something outside. Another thing is mindset. Just remember that this entire stage of your life and your child's life is all temporary. It is not going to be here forever. And I know that that doesn't like make it easier when you're dealing with something really stressful, but if you can remind yourself in those moments that this is temporary, is all temporary. Another thing to remember is even if your kid is really struggling and having a fit over everything, it's okay to keep the boundaries that you've set. When my son is very much like protesting the boundaries that I've put in place, sometimes I start reevaluating those boundaries, which isn't a horrible thing. But I start to think maybe I'm being too hard. Maybe I should let him, draw in the living room instead of at the other table. And I'm just here to tell you that it's okay to have boundaries and to keep them. It's okay. You don't have to adjust everything just because your toddler isn't happy with the boundary that you've set. Their happiness should not equal your happiness. Another great thing, which my son is doing right now, is if you can, find an outdoor space that your toddler, I would say like just pay attention to their maturity level and what you think is appropriate for them. But find an outdoor space that they can play in alone. Like right now, my son is on the porch. He is sitting in a lawn chair, spraying, yelling for me, spraying a bottle of water. Create an outdoor space that they can just kind of be free in. Like inside, it's not okay for him to come grab the spray bottle that I have and just spray it all over the house because I have things that'll get damaged. But outside, I don't care what he sprays with water. Like he can play with his bubbles. He's got a little bubble gun that he'll come back and ask me to refill often. He's got a sand table, which it's not open all the time because I don't always want to have a mess to clean up when he comes in. Send them outside alone where they can just be creative and play. My next thing is kind of a practical thing. That is when you are making a meal, if you can, make double. When you're making lunch, make 2 sandwiches. You can have one now and the other later. If you're making a meal, make twice as much so that your future self can appreciate the fact that they don't have to make that in that moment. I hear you over there. I'm back. The kids are both in their beds. So I'm gonna do the dishes from lunch while I have a minute, and we're gonna get back into these things that will help you be a happier stay-at-home mom. So one of the things is to lower your standards. I am a little bit of a perfectionist, and I try to keep my house to a good, clean minimum at this point. Kind of set that bar lower. So for me, that is the state my house is in right now. I have dishes from lunch and breakfast in here. Normally I don't leave any dishes in the sink. My counters really need to be wiped down. This is still over here on the ground. The playroom is a mess. If you saw my living room, it's not picked up. I have shoes on the floor behind the camera. It's just not in the same shape that I used to always keep my house in. It's just the stage of life that we're in, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, which means I am here all the time with my children, and those children make messes, and if I didn't let them make messes, how boring would their life be? So I'm having to teach myself to lower that standard just a little bit so that we can enjoy the place that is meant for us to enjoy, our home. One of the things that I have found helps me when I'm feeling that sensory overload is to get out kinetic sand or like Play-Doh, and sometimes just playing with something like that, and not like sitting there on my phone while he's playing with it, instead just me sitting there and actually playing with it with him. It is very calming to me. It's like you get your hands in it and just feel the different textures and all of that. Just give yourself a little bit of a sensory activity to do with your kid. It could be pretty calming. Just try it out, see what you think. So any parent with children runs into being tired because our kids don't always sleep through the night. Since I have a little baby and a toddler, sometimes I don't get good sleep. Sometimes I get like 4 hours of sleep. And what I used to do was just be like, oh my God, I am so exhausted. I can't do this today. I know it's hard. Obviously it's hard. But if you can get your mind out of that and stop thinking about how exhausted you feel, and remember that you can do hard things and that you're made for this and that you can do it. If you just change your mindset and change what you're thinking, it really can change your day. Stop thinking about how tired you are and instead think about how you are capable of getting through this day, even though you only got a few hours of sleep. So another really practical thing that you can do is to practice gratefulness. Just think about the things, the most basic things that you are grateful for in your life. If you're someone who likes to write things down, write it down. If you're someone who likes to say it out loud, say it out loud. It just gives you something to be happy about. And sometimes that's all you need, is something just to change what's happening in your brain. I think I might have mentioned this one in my last video, and that is just to think about, like, before you became a mom, when you were thinking about what it would be like to be a mom and be home with your children. For me personally, I thought about being a stay-at-home mom all the time. And when I did that, I pictured myself a certain way. What I have started doing is I have been making I am statements based on that person that I used to picture in my head. I used to picture myself being this happy, fun-loving mom who was so patient with her kids, who always knew the right thing to say, and my house was happy, and there was just joy in my home. And so now I will actually journal these, and so I'll write things down like, I am joyful, I am happy, I am a patient and loving mom, I know how to respond to my children, I am the best mom for my kids, and I am so thankful to be home with them. Just basically take that picture in your mind of who you wanted to be and speak it out of your mouth. So those are the things that I wanted to share with you. I feel like I've been talking with my hands a lot. I hope that wasn't too distracting, but I hope you enjoyed, and I do hope that you got some things out of this video. I hope that some of the things that I shared with you might help you if you are struggling with your happiness as a mother or a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home parent. If you did enjoy today's video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps me to grow on YouTube, and that is something that I am trying to do. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will see you guys in the next one.